and her come on my podcast, and she texted me an hour before she was supposed to show up that she wasn't coming.
Trisha she did me and Jay wrong and made up a whole drama. She did me really wrong. She made up all these lies, said I fat shamed her and called her all these.
So I have actually never been more visibly shaken than I am right now. My biggest fear when I canceled last minute on Bunnie was just her talking about it, because I know she has such a loyal fan base. I love Bunnie. She's super sweet. I think she's very unproblematic. And so I was just like so nervous, because I did ghost her within an hour of us supposed to record. I texted her to cancel because I was trying to squeeze it in to do her podcast. I wanted to do her podcast more than anything. Like, I love Bunnie. I keep telling her, like, it's amazing, her story. Like, every time a new part of her story comes out, like, I'm in awe, and I think I looked up to her in so many ways. So the last thing I wanted to do was cancel. I sent a text and was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I didn't check my phone the rest of the night. You guys are going to see on Thursday, I got this really amazing opportunity in Vegas, like this really amazing opportunity. And it was supposed to be for the next day. And then we got something that night, and we just were cutting it so close. It was like picking up the boots, had to go to this event, like check my mom and baby into the hotel. Like, and I told her, I was like, I feel so awful. And I had a guest cancel on me like a few weeks ago, and I told her that too. And I was like, I was so mad. I was so mad, like having to get up to Glam and pay. I paid for Glam. I was in Glam when the person canceled on me, and I was so upset. And it is the rudest thing. It is the rudest thing. And I just saw now, I went to go text her that there was a voice note, and I did not see the voice note back. And no excuse. And Bunnie, I am so sorry. Like, I know how disrespectful that is on so many levels, and obviously it did affect her for her to bring it up on the podcast, and I'm so sorry. Like, trust me, I had that happen just weeks prior, and it is like, I just so disrespectful. It annoyed me so much. I was so polite with my guest, and I was just like, it's fine, but I was just so annoyed deep down, and I get it, and I am so sorry. And if this thing that was happening in Vegas wasn't like really just like all my dreams coming true at once, like I would have made yours. I would have tried to make it work. I am so sorry. But bringing it up on a podcast with Jeffree Star, who just hates me and continues to just hate me. I brought him up so briefly. It was asked on Tana's podcast about Jeffree, and I try to just pass it off as like it happened a long time ago. I don't even remember. And he just went on this tirade, attacking me, calling me a liar. And there's one thing being in drama and responding to drama, and there's another thing to just have lies made up and just this is definition of gaslighting, to say I owe him an apology. Like, I am shaking because it's bringing it all back up again. And I was going to go look for receipts and just say that I lied about him. And then he also brings in Hair by Jay, saying I lied about Hair by Jay, when there's videos of Hair by Jay just cussing me out, telling me how ugly I am. And then there's videos of other people on that trip talking about all the mean girl behavior that happened. The reason I bought my own flight home. I was grateful with that trip. I was grateful with my friendship with Jeffree. But things happened, and I didn't feel good about it anymore. And so I was out. I didn't say anything about Jeffree for years. I opened up to Shane and Ryland, and that is why my friendship with Shane ended, because Ryland said we had no idea she had these feelings about Jeffree. And they're like, the Hair by Jay, okay, we know, and they picked Jeffree, and that's fine. That's fine. I've made my peace with it. I've truly made my peace with it, and I really don't want this drama. But I'm not going to let me get dragged in and say I lied, and I owe him an apology, and it was hurtful to him. There's plenty of receipts. There's plenty of videos of this online, of apologies, of all this stuff online. And I thought I was just being polite by saying it was a long time ago. I don't even remember, because I don't want to dredge this up, because for me, it's humiliating. It's embarrassing. Who I was back then is embarrassing. I thought who we were back then was embarrassing. I thought Jeffree could agree on that. And like seeing all this, and then seeing Bunnie bring it up on this episode where Jeffree just despises me, knowing that he's going to go off on me and say I'm a liar and all this stuff like that. Say I wanted it, was looking for clout when I didn't say anything for years. I don't know. It felt a little bit of an attack. It felt a little bit mean girl behavior, because I get it. What I did was so disrespectful to Bunnie. Like, I should not have canceled last minute. I shouldn't have even made the plans to begin with. I was just so flustered. This trip, this event that was happening is like one of the biggest things that have ever happened in my entire life. I was so focused on that. And I am so sorry. Fuck. And this was my biggest fear. I had this initial gut feeling, and I was like, wow, like this is sucky. And I could have seen her talking about this and maybe leaving my name out of it, but to put it on there on the episode with Jeffree Star and to have all this come back up again is just like, and a lot of people are very sweet in the comments, and a lot of people remember, and that's why I didn't say anything. We filmed an episode on my podcast yesterday, and we didn't say anything about Jeffree because I just didn't want to go with this back and forth. I didn't want to feed into it, and a lot of people do remember, and that's good enough for me. But I see this comment, and I follow Bunnie, which is how I saw the original clip, and my heart broke, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. My heart broke because it just felt like, I get it. I heard her, and she has every right to be mad, and I don't know how to make that up. I wish I could pay for her crew or for whatever happened that day, because I swear I know the feeling, and I know how shitty that is, and I would be pissed at me too. I just feel like this felt like a very personal attack to do this on the Jeffree Star episode, and I'm so sorry. But the last person I owe an apology to is Jeffree Star. The last person. Because mean girl behavior. And it was a long time ago, and I've seen Jeffree Star throughout the years. Of course, it looked like he has changed out of LA, so I was just like, I get it. I wasn't always a great person either, so I thought, just let it go. But to say I ruined your life, that I owe you an apology, is insane. There's other people on the trip detailing these stories of what happened. There's no lies. And was it anything like horrible? Jeffree, no. You know, Jeffree's just Jeffree. He just has that sense of humor, I suppose. And I took it very personally. Hair Jay was nasty. And there's videos on it. So to throw him in with him and saying that I lied about you guys, like, what? Jay sent me an apology. Jay, all this stuff, it's just like, and so that's why I was letting it go. Because I was like, you know what? Jay apologized. Jeffree never has. Jeffree thinks I owe him an apology. And that's what's insane about all this. I have hurt a lot of people, and I've made tons of apologies publicly and privately to so many people that maybe I've called out wrongly or ended things badly with. But Jeffree, you are the last person I owe apology to. And I just want it to be over. I just want it to be over. Like, Jeffree looks happy and content in his life, and I truly am happy and content in my life. I came back to do a podcast because I love just gossiping and stuff, and I try to keep it as lighthearted as possible. And things that matter, yes, talk about. Things that matter, talk about. But this happened so long ago. And believe me, I was trying to be gracious. I was trying to pass it off as like, let bygones be bygones. If I knew for an inkling it would trigger this, I would have asked to cut it out. I asked to cut a lot of things out of podcasts. I would have 100% asked to cut it out. And Bunnie, I am truly, truly, truly sorry. I am so sorry. Words can't even describe this. I'm so sorry. I don't want this drama with anyone. I don't want it. I let things go. I forget about things. I don't want it. And you guys know I'm all about like protecting my peace and stuff like that, but there is a very big difference between just like protecting your peace and letting someone just completely, this is the second, third, fourth, fifth time I've seen Jeffree talk about this, saying that I'm the liar, that I ruined his life, that I made this stuff up. The receipt